Frank and I were engineers working on a project, and we had a difference of opinion on how to stage the installation of a packaging line. After arguing for a long while, I suggested we reverse roles and try to argue the points of the other person. Frank agreed and said, "You go first." So I rattled off all the reasons why Frank's way was the best, and then I turned it over to him to argue for my side. Instead, he thought carefully and said, "You know, Bob, after listening to you, I think your points are correct." He had me cold. What a hoot. I learned to be more careful when reversing roles. Actually, the technique can be very helpful at reducing conflict when both people play the game properly. By verbalizing the other person's point of view, you assure that each person has fully internalized the other person's opinion. Reversing roles is a way to get people to listen better and appreciate that both sides have valid points. Typically, when people argue, they don't listen well because they're so intent on explaining their own views. You cannot argue the opposite side until you fully understand the logic. So, just by verbalizing the other person's point, you have a deeper understanding of how he came to that conclusion. Often, reversing roles can lead to creative win-win solutions to the conflict, and in fact, ultimately Frank and I did find a third possibility that worked better than either of our two initial ideas. Think for a moment about how you can use this information today. Identify at least one situation today where reversing the roles can help sort out the issues from the emotions, and make a plan with a coworker on a project to try it. Just be careful not to fall victim to the trick that Frank played on me. Reversing roles is a wonderful technique to get out of the endless arguments. Both parties have to play the game fairly, as I discovered. But if the rules are followed, it leads to better communication and also a deeper appreciation for alternate viewpoints. One word of caution: don't try reversing the roles if people hate each other. It can backfire and generate additional rancor. Tomorrow, we discuss small problems that become big issues.